Good evening. Tonight's top story: a stunning revelation about U.S. President Donald Trump's handling of international trade negotiations, one that European media is calling nothing short of extortion. On July 31st, President Trump spoke by phone with Swiss President Karen Keller-Sutter. The discussion was officially intended to focus on trade, specifically how to prevent a massive 39% tariff from being placed on Swiss goods. But what actually unfolded during that call has left European officials alarmed. According to a detailed investigation published by a German newspaper, Trump demanded direct financial payments from Switzerland. In simple terms, he allegedly told the Swiss president, "Pay me or face the tariffs." The report makes clear that the call was not initiated by Switzerland. Instead, it came from U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. In fact, Greer had already worked out a declaration of intent with the Swiss government, a carefully negotiated framework meant to avoid these tariffs. Yet during the phone call, President Trump openly dismissed his own officials, telling Keller-Sutter directly, "I don't care about them." Even more troubling, Trump reportedly referred to the European Union's $600 billion in U.S. investments not as business deals, but as gifts. At one point, he asked the Swiss president directly, "What are you paying me?" If accurate, these comments amount to the President of the United States pressuring a foreign leader with mafia-style tactics, disguising financial demands as part of diplomacy. The message was clear: pay up or face the consequences. Switzerland refused, and shortly afterward, the United States imposed a 39% tariff on Swiss goods. While it may sound like a punishment for Switzerland, the reality is quite different. Tariffs are essentially taxes that U.S. consumers pay in the form of higher prices. In other words, it was Americans who bore the financial cost of Trump's ultimatum. This revelation raises serious questions not just about trade policy, but about the integrity of the U.S. presidency itself. By undermining his own negotiators, President Trump signaled that international agreements, no matter how carefully constructed, mean little if he personally decides otherwise. Reactions in Europe have been swift. Outlets across Germany and Switzerland are describing Trump's actions as extortion, comparing them to protection rackets typically run by organized crime groups. Pay us protection money, and nothing bad will happen to you. Political analysts warn this episode could have lasting consequences. For Switzerland, a historically neutral nation, being drawn into such controversy with Washington is unprecedented. For the European Union, it casts doubt on the stability of economic relations with the U.S. And for Americans, it means higher costs on everyday goods, all while their president allegedly seeks personal leverage over foreign governments. What's equally shocking is the silence in U.S. media. While European newspapers are running this story on front pages, here at home it has barely been mentioned. Critics argue this lack of coverage shields Americans from understanding the true impact of the president's decisions on their wallets and on the nation's global standing. In summary, President Donald Trump is accused of turning a trade negotiation into an extortion scheme, dismissing his own officials, disregarding signed agreements, and ultimately punishing American consumers through tariffs. If these reports are accurate, it paints a picture of a president who treats diplomacy not as a partnership, but as a personal transaction. Europe is sounding the alarm. The world is paying attention. The question now: when will America wake up?